The Streets. His nickname was Basquiat, though he was Aboriginal, not American. He was a street artist and a Wurundjeri man. He lived in Preston in a tiny flatette in Kuma Street. When he was there, he sat on his favorite orange beanbag and seemed to be behind a permanent cloud of marijuana smoke. He would take huge tokes on fat joints and blow the smoke all around him, with a big smile on his handsome brown face. He spray-painted the back streets and lanes of Preston with his unique pop street art, as well as in empty gone-bust paint and drape warehouses. His art was a cross between the real Basquiat and Andy Warhol. He also did portraits of famous Aboriginal people: Lionel Rose, Charles Perkins, Gary Foley, Tony Mundine, Vincent Lingiari, and David Unipon. Basquiat's real name was Tom Lewis. He worked on and off in cafes as a waiter or kitchen hand, just long enough to get enough cash for paint and other materials. He didn't need to buy much ganja. People always came to his flatette and shared everything, and sometimes in the mornings after his gatherings, people would be lying all over the floor using their pullovers or whatever as pillows under their heads. When Basquiat came out of his tiny bedroom, the party would start again and go all day and night if he wasn't working. Often, he would snort a few lines of speed and leave all the friends and lovers and hangers-on behind and go out with his cans of spray paint and not come back until early the next morning. But he had a dark side. He liked the speed, but heroin too. He liked the yin and the yang of it. Getting high and languid on H and then charging around on speed. Men and women of all ages craved him, and he had many lovers, but his girl was Emily. Beautiful, blonde, ethereal Emily, who was also an artist. He met her at a gig in the Retreat Hotel in Brunswick. That night, he wore his hair in little knots tied up all over his head with different colored ribbons like a Byron Bay Farrell. Basquiat walked all over the city, never catching trains or trams, but walking or riding his bike. He wore torn black Levi's always, and heavy brown boots, and a t-shirt in summer and winter. He had a thick, strong body. Emily was like something out of the Darling Buds of May, blonde, with porcelain white skin. She said didn't like it when he took heavy drugs like heroin and speed. One day, they were at her small studio apartment on Park Street, Brunswick West. Basquiat blew smoke from a joint all around the room. Emily loved it when it was just the two of them.